Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showcasing one of my favorite builds to start with in a ladder season or solo self-found. It's hardcore viable, it's very safe, and you do a lot of damage even with minimal gear. You can use really basic caster gear with this character. I'm using a spirit, Shaco, but you don't need Shaco. I've been really lucky and I found 2 Shacos pretty early. But you can use Peasant Crown, lore, circlet with combat skill or paladin skill, so you don't need Shaco right away. Skin of Upper Magi with 10 FCR. You don't need that either. You can use a smoke to reach your maximum resistances early. You just need a Lum Rune. I'm using Blood Fist for the FHR and the life. But if I find a terrain gloves, I would use those instead, but I really like the life. Alders for the fire res and life, they're really good boots. Spirit for the obviously the skill, the FCR, FHR, the res. Sacred Tar is the best base you can use for that. Other items that you can use: Wizard Spike for more res and FCR. You don't really need the mana with this build because of redemption. You pretty much never run out of mana. A belt you can use something like that with FHR, strength, life, res. This belt's really good. It's better than mine, but I don't need the strength, and this one has higher life, so that's why I'm using it. For ring, I'm using random FCR ring. Raven Frost for the dex, cannot be frozen, and the cold absorb. It's really useful. 3 combat amulet. If you want to be more tanky, you can use Dwarf Star for the fire absorb, the life, and the reduction to elemental and magic damage. And boots, you want res, faster on walk. You don't really need the MF, but those boots are really nice. And I'm currently using 1 combat skillers and a Geed. The rest are life and rest charms. On switch, I'm using Holy Thunder for the teleport. So it speeds things up while you're leveling, and when you're going to the Chaos Sanctuary, you can just skip everything with the teleport and with a spirit. For leveling, there's 2 routes that you can take. The most popular one is going Holy Fire with Zeal. So you put 1 point in Zeal, then you max Holy Fire. After that, you can max Zeal. If you go that route, there's 2 options after that. You can respec at level 30 to get Conviction, Fist of Heaven, and Salvation. Or you respec in Act 4 Nightmare, because this is where all the fire immunes, fire resistant monsters are. And it's really tough to clear the Act 4 as fire damage. So I would either respec at level 30 or in Act 4 Nightmare. The second route that you can take, which is the one that I would recommend especially if you're playing in a group, is going Holy Bolt straight away. So I would put points in the requirements of the rest of the build for the first few levels. So pretty much every spells that you have. Max Holy Bolt. And once you get level 30, I would max Fist of Heaven, because this is what you're gonna use mostly after that for majority of Nightmare, because it deals enough damage, and most of the time you're gonna have Conviction on or Salvation if you're playing in like a dangerous area like Bale's Throne or something like that, Chaos. And you can put 1 point in the other auras, like you're gonna use Redemption, Vigor. So you max Fist of Heaven second. And then third, you max Sanctuary for the Synergia with Holy Bolt. And the rest of the points I would put in Holy Shield for better block chance and defense. Because even with 10, with 10 points, I'm already level 89. Obviously, it doesn't count the quest rewards, like the skills. But this is pretty much leveling for Paladin. And for stats, you want enough strength to wear your gear. Dex, at the start, you don't really need any dex. Later in the game, like in Hell, if you have a good shield, you can go max block. But for early game, I wouldn't put any points in dex, except if you have a wizard spike, because you need some dex to wear it. But that's pretty much it. You need 100 total energy, so you don't need to put 100 points. Like if you have a lore rune word, it gives you energy points, so you don't have to put 100. You just need to have a total of 100 energy to be able to shoot 2 additional boats with that skill. And I would go, if you're softcore, it doesn't really matter when you put the 100 points. It doesn't really matter. On hardcore, I would probably do it like at the end of Nightmare or middle of Nightmare, because you want to put like most of your points in Vitality. And now for the breakpoints, FCR, FHR breakpoints. I'll show the breakpoint table on the screen, and in the description there will be a link. For FCR right now I have 110, and there's the 2 breakpoints, the 2 like final breakpoints that you can reach are 75 for 10 frames and 125 for 9 frames. Right now with my build, I don't have enough for 125 obviously. I could reach it with Blood Fist, if I remove Blood Fist that is, and put Mage Fist, or if I had Trend Gloves, but I really like the 40 life and 30 FHR. But if I find Trend Gloves, I would switch for them, obviously. Because as you can see, I'm maxed out on Cold Res, even though I don't need to be maxed out on Cold Res. Because I have Rain Frost, and also Cold Damage is probably the weakest damage in the game, I would say, for monsters. The only thing you have to worry about is Coin Enchanted and Spectral Hit. But even then, you're doing a mistake if you're melee range to mobs when they die and stuff. So I wouldn't really worry about getting the 125 breakpoint. It's obviously very nice if you can hit it, but it's not necessary. The 75 breakpoint is more than enough. And for FHR, I'm using 2 very balanced items for FHR, the 2 spirits, so that's why I have 169. For Paladin, the 4 frame breakpoint is 86, and 3 frame is 200. Hitting 200 can be pretty difficult. It's also not a big deal. Like getting 86 is really easy. Like just with those 2, I get 110. So you don't really need to try to go for 200. I'd rather go for Life Charm and Resist Charms instead. But obviously, if you can get like combat with FHR, it would be really good. But the 85 breakpoint is more than enough. And now for the end of the video, I'll show you guys some footage. Just fighting Eldritch and Shank, and then a Chaos run. If you have any questions or comments, suggestions, or if you want to see another build or just another type of video about Path of Diablo, just let me know in the comments on YouTube or Reddit, and I'll check it out. Thanks for watching.
Чики-брики, пальчик выкинь.